Toyota trucks.
In our top story, President Trump levying a 25% tariff on imported cars and light trucks. We're joined by Brian Kilmeade. You'll hear his show coming up live this morning from 9 until noon. And Brian, the short term and the long term of these tariffs.
Yeah, I want to see what happens. They say you bring his goal is to bring the parts and to bring the manufacturing back to the U.S. And Ford probably do the best. You guys know cars better than I do. This is really car country where you guys are. But Ford, I've heard of the people I reached out to are the most American made intentionally, even if it costs a little more. But still, they're going to be hurt by this. So my hope is there's a practical way of doing this because there is a lot of manufacturing that came back here with Toyota and Hyundai. Hyundai did make a huge commitment. I think it was on Monday or Tuesday to come back to Louisiana. So I think that's going to be great. And, of course, you have zero tariffs. The president is relentless to bring manufacturing back. And what I think is also underappreciated, and they haven't really communicated this well, is that, the pandemic taught us that we really don't have a lot of our own raw material and goods. And the supply chain, when it's broken, we really suffer. And we did not really make the adjustments over the last 4 years. We just kind of said, well, the pandemic is so unpopular, we handled it so poorly, people are so angry about it, let's not even really address it about pharmaceuticals and rare earth. But guess what? Pharmaceuticals are being cut back by China. And guess what? The rare earth is being cut back by China. And he says, when it comes to our cars, why are we not putting a tariff on Canada and Mexico? And if you do that, maybe they'll bring more manufacturing here. Canadians are upset again today.
What you guys coming up on the show, Brian?
It's going to be a big show. I'm going to talk about the three-judge panel and what they discussed, and the three-judge panel and what they decided to do, and that's essentially kick back at the administration. And they have decided that they cannot call the Aliens Enemies Act and ship more illegal immigrants out of this country, so they're going to go to the Supreme Court. I also want to talk about the Maine situation. They're defying the president and allowing trans men to play in women's sports. And, of course, the latest on Signalgate. We'll talk about that. And I can't wait to come to town June 21st, Larry, so I'll see you in person again.
It's on the calendar, baby. It's on the calendar.
All right. Go get him.
All right, 521. Let's take a look at our forecast now. With Storm Center 7 meteorologist Britley Ritz.
Starting off in the 30s this morning, we'll hit 60 this afternoon, putting us above normal. Rain chances arrive after 5 o'clock, and even then, it's a stray chance. 46 overnight, 73 tomorrow afternoon as we gradually clear it out. So the front part of your Friday will be wet with the chance of scattered showers and a rumble of thunder. 70 on Saturday, showers arrive late, rain heavy at times overnight Saturday and into Sunday. Sunday will clear out for the front part of the day. We'll hit 71 with the chance of showers and thunderstorms late into the evening and into Monday morning. At that point, we'll have to watch for the threat of strong to severe storms. We'll drop to 54 degrees on Monday.
Our live Doppler 7 radar is clear, and we've got 38 in Springfield, 37 in Wright-Patton, 40 at Dayton Severe Weather Station.
This is a WHIO Red Alert traffic update.
And a problem on 35. Here's our traffic expert, Jake Magnato.
Big overnight issue affecting us in Greene County, just outside of Xenia. Route 35 is closed in both directions near Route 68. This is because of a jackknife semi. Dispatchers did tell us 2 people were seriously hurt here. But if you are heading eastbound on 35, you'll have to exit at Route 68. Westbound, you will have to exit at Bickett Road. And the roads you can use to get around this, Bickett and Hook Roads. I'm Jake Magnato.
And walking back new requirements for Social Security benefits, the subject of our in-depth impact story coming up in 2 minutes. WHIO News Time, 523.
This traffic report is sponsored by Grismer Tire and Auto Service. Refresh your ride with brand new tires at unbeatable prices. Plus, buy 4 new tires and get 4 free oil changes, an additional $300 value. Make an appointment today at GrismerTire.com.
Open the door to Dayton Door Sales. Family owned and locally loved, Dayton Door Sales is dedicated to giving your home the quality garage doors it deserves. Centered around a superior customer experience, our customers can rest assured that every member of the Dayton Door Sales family is committed to providing high-quality garage door installation and repair services at great prices. To learn more, visit DaytonDoorSales.com. Dayton Door Sales. Integrity, value, experience.
WHIO's Brian Kilmeade here. I am coming to Dayton at the Victoria Theater Saturday, June 21st. Buy your tickets now at DaytonLive.org, part of the WHIO 90th anniversary celebration, AM 1290 and 95.7 FM. Dayton's weather, traffic, and Fox News station.
Open the door to Dayton Door Sales. Family owned and locally loved, Dayton Door Sales is dedicated to giving your home the quality garage doors it deserves. Centered around a superior customer experience, our customers can rest assured that every member of the Dayton Door Sales family is committed to providing high-quality garage door installation and repair services at great prices. To learn more, visit DaytonDoorSales.com. Dayton Door Sales. Integrity, value, experience.
Whatever the weather outside, stay comfortable inside with Tanner Heating and Air Conditioning, where quality and comfort matter the most. Our cost-effective systems for your home or office and planned service will save you some bucks. Bucks. That's right, Sarah bucks. That will keep your wallet happy. Tanner Heating and Air Conditioning, a reliable local family-owned company that always produces great results. This is Sarah Tanner. Call 299-2500 or go to TannerHVAC.com to schedule today. Tanner Heating and Air Conditioning, a name you can trust.
This is a Consumer Warrior Clark Howard Minute.
All right, you want some comedy in your day? There's a new study that found that Americans say that we're driving more dangerously than we did in the past. Really? Okay, what did you see today? You seen somebody on the freeway change 4 lanes all at once? See somebody weaving in and out? All the craziness we see all the time. So get this if then. Auto insurance rates have been going up so much because cost of repairing the vehicles, body shop work more expensive, getting the parts more expensive, but mainly it's because people are driving more aggressively. So the assignment for you and me is we got to back it off. We got to settle down on the road. If people are driving crazy around us, give them extra space. I leave as much room as I can on a multi-lane freeway. I never want to be boxed in on my left and my right.
Clark is WHIO's Consumer Warrior, and you can hear him during Miami Valley's Morning News on WHIO. The area's only all-news and talk radio station. That means we're talking about what you're talking about. Miami Valley's Morning News continues on WHIO.
Morning, I'm Larry Hansgen. Newsweek magazine says pregnant women should eat chili once a month because it lowers the risk of gestational diabetes. We have 40 degrees now at 526.
And that is 26 minutes after 5 o'clock. I'm Jeremy Ratliff for your Impact story this morning. The Social Security Administration reversing course on a new requirement for benefits.
The Social Security Administration announced Wednesday people applying for disability insurance, Medicare, or supplemental security income will not be required to travel to a field office to confirm their identity and could apply over the phone or using the agency's online portal. Other SAA applicants would still be required to verify they are who they say they are at a field office. Last week, the Trump administration announced more sweeping requirements for in-person identity checks in an effort to crack down on fraud. But the acting commissioner for Social Security carved out several exemptions following critics who say in-person requirements place hardship on the nation's most vulnerable.
That is Fox's Tom Graham reporting. WHIO News Time, 527.
And this is Miami Valley's Morning News as we try to get your day started with the weather, traffic, and news you need. And we'll help you out on the drive home when you listen to Sean Hannity this afternoon, 3 to 5. Time now for the Sean Morning Minute, sponsored by Russell Total Wealth and Wellness.
Turn up your radio. Here's the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
Most members of the legacy media mob, and remember I proclaimed that they are dead after November 5th, because they threw everything combined, Democrats, legacy media, threw everything they had at Donald Trump. And they were not able to beat him. They took him to court. They tried to put him in jail. They used lawfare, weaponization at a level this country's never seen before. None of it worked. The American people saw through this. So it's not. It's pretty predictable that this is the only thing they know, because the only alternative would be a course correction and introspection and an analysis of how they're so out of touch with the American people and their egos couldn't handle such self-reflection.
Check out the Sean Hannity radio show later today, right here.
Hey, it's Todd from the Evening Edge on WHIO Radio. I know it's many months away, but this summer, WHIO Radio is celebrating Independence Day with the city of Beaver Creek. It'll be a terrific patriotic day with a parade, family fun festivities, and a spectacular fireworks display. This event is part of the WHIO Radio 90th Anniversary Hometown Celebration, and the city of Beaver Creek is looking for additional sponsors to partner with. Thousands of residents will be there celebrating Independence Day, and if you're a local business and would like to be part of this patriotic event, please visit beavercreekohio.gov/sponsorships for details, or call the City of Beaver Creek Parks, Recreation, and Culture Division at 937-427-5514. That's 937-427-5514. And celebrate Independence Day with WHIO Radio and the City of Beaver Creek.
This is the legendary WHIO.
This is Lou M. Now let's check on morning traffic.
Dayton's only 24-hour news station. Using the power of News Center 7, we have dozens of reporters all over the Miami Valley.
Breaking news in Tip City. This is a live
with one mission, to bring you breaking news when it happens.
News Center 7's Kayla McDermott is live along
Major stories that impact your family.
New Oregon District mass shooting information.
We're the home of Dayton's only all-news morning show, Miami Valley's Morning News.
This is Larry Hanskin.
Then, throughout the day, listen for updated local news every 15 minutes.
Dayton and Springfield's 24-hour news, weather, and traffic station.
When breaking news happens, we stop what we're doing and go wall to wall. For us, there's nothing more important than live, local news on the radio. It's a tradition since 1935.
WHIO.
This is 1290 and 95.7 WHIO, Dayton's News and Talk. WHIO, Dayton, Springfield. Celebrating our 90th year as the Miami Valley's leading news station. Weather, traffic, and breaking news starts now.
Good morning, it's 5:30. I'm Larry Hanskin, and welcome to Miami Valley's Morning News. We are live on Thursday, March 27th. We've got 40 degrees in Dayton, and here are the big three things you need to know. Going to be partly cloudy with highs near 60 this afternoon. Rain rolls in tonight. We start our day with a traffic red alert. 35 west and eastbound both shut down in Greene County just outside Xenia by Route 68. That due to a jackknife semi. And our top story, President Trump says he's placing a 25% tariffs on auto imports.
That's right, Larry. And WHIO's Rich Jones continues our team coverage with a special report this morning.
The White House says the move will foster domestic manufacturing. President Trump told reporters this will continue to spur growth. The tariffs could be complicated, though, as even U.S. automakers source their components from around the world. That means they could face higher costs and lower sales.
Meanwhile, President Trump says wide-ranging tariffs next week may not go as far as once proposed. Fox's Jared Halpern brings us more on this from the White House.
President Trump has declared April 2nd is Liberation Day, a day he's imposing reciprocal tariffs on all imports from countries that put duties on U.S. goods.
We're going to charge countries for doing business in our country and taking our jobs, taking our wealth.
But the president says those tariffs will be, in some cases, lenient.
It'll be, in many cases, less than the tariff that they've been charging us for decades. So I think people are going to be very, very surprised.
The markets have reacted negatively to the tariff threats, an impact President Trump believes will be short-lived.
Now, of course, you can stay tuned for updates on this developing story right here on the home of breaking news, 1290 and 95.7 WHIO.
Warmer weather returning to the Miami Valley. I'm Storm Center 7 meteorologist Britley Ritz, letting you know when that warmer weather arrives and how much warmer will be.
A crash has Route 35 closed in both directions near Route 68 in Greene County, just outside of Xenia. A semi is jackknifed. I'm Jake Magnotta with Dayton's most frequent traffic.
I'm Larry Hanskin. This is Miami Valley's Morning News.
And I'm Jeremy Ratliff. Well, Larry, we go to Clark County for this next story. A mother is sentenced to prison for the death of her 4-month-old son a day after the father was put behind bars.
Angel Seeker was sentenced to 11 and a half years in prison for allowing the child abuse that led to the death of her son. She and father, Landon Jennings, pleaded guilty to permitting child abuse. Their son died in 2023.
Now, prosecutors say the baby boy had several broken bones and a serious head injury. I knew this morning the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office and Coroner's Office confirmed to our news team that an inmate has died. We're talking about 25-year-old Christian Black of Zanesville.
Black was being held on receiving stolen property and obstructing official business charges from the Inglewood Police Department. On Sunday, Inglewood police officers went to I-70 near Hoke Road on reports of a person who crashed a car during a robbery in Beaver Creek. Now, officers say Black jumped a fence and swam across the pond to try and get away from police. Now, the sheriff's office said medics took Black to the hospital, then jail. That's where investigators say he fought with correctional officers and was placed in a cell where he rammed his head against the cell door multiple times. Medics took Black to the hospital. The sheriff's office said he died. The Dayton Police Department is investigating. The sheriff's office is doing an internal investigation.
That is News Center 7's Gabrielle Enright reporting. There is a measles outbreak in Ohio.
State's Department of Health says there are 10 cases in Ashtabula County, and 9 of them are linked to the adult male who was reported as the first case. The CDC is reporting 378 cases across the U.S.
That is WHIO's Ron Otto reporting. A spokesperson says none of those people were vaccinated. A woman is shot and killed near a Family Dollar store Tuesday evening. Montgomery County Coroner's Office identifies her as Jamie Guadagno.
Cops and medics were called to a location on Troy Street and found a 26-year-old woman who'd been shot in an alley between 2 apartments and began to provide first aid. She was taken to a local hospital where she died from her injuries.
That is WHIO's Jason Michaels reporting. At a Mexican restaurant near the Day Air Ballpark has shut its doors.
Local cantina located on East 1st Street has permanently closed, according to a sign on the front door. There are still several local cantina restaurants in the Columbus area.
That is WHIO's Benjamin Fridkiss. WHIO News Time, 5:35.
And this is Miami Valley's Morning News.
WHIO Red Alert Traffic Update.
And with those details, let's go back to our traffic center and our traffic expert, Jake Magnotta.
Still not sure how long this is going to be affecting us this morning, but since about 1:45, we've had an issue on Route 35 in Greene County, just outside of Xenia. Both sides of Route 35 are closed near Route 68 due to a semi that's jackknifed. So if you're eastbound on 35, you'll have to exit at Route 68. Westbound on 35, you can exit at North Bickett Road. And there are a lot of roads that will get you around this and back onto 35 east or west in this area. I'm Jake Magnotta.
Yeah, it's opening day for Major League Baseball. A lot of folks will tune up watching their favorite baseball movies. Well, Kevin Costner talks about the longevity of his film, Field of Dreams, calling it the It's a Wonderful Life of our generation.
So much about relationships with your father go unsaid, and you gotta break that cycle, or you're gonna need a Field of Dreams to remind you of what you maybe missed.
And still to come, no Cinderellas left as the NCAA tournament resumes tonight. That story in 2 minutes. WHIO News Time, 5:36.
WHIO is Dayton's #1 local news station. No other radio station has the power of News Center 7. Local news matters. This is 1290 and 95.7 WHIO. Depend on it.
I'm Parker Testa with the University of Dayton Sports Update. Following their season-ending loss to Chattanooga in the second round of the National Invitation Tournament, 3 Dayton men's basketball players have entered their names into the transfer portal.
Malachi, right corner 3, good.
Junior Malachi Smith, who averaged 10.4 points in 33 games played in 2024.
Finds Isaac for the flush.
Junior Isaac Jack, who in 21 games averaged 3.2 points. Freshman Marval Allen, who spent his 2 seasons at the University of Dayton nursing injuries.
Nate for 3. Got it!
Meanwhile, senior forward Nate Santos was named Academic All-District by College Sport Communicators. This is Santos' second consecutive season earning the honor and making it 2 straight with the Flyers. He led the Flyers, scoring 14.3 points per game in 2024, while also posting a 3.7 GPA. I'm Parker Testa with the University of Dayton Sports Update here on 1290 and 95.7 WHIO.
This is the legendary WHIO.
This is Lou M. Now let's check on morning traffic.
Dayton's only 24-hour news station. Using the power of News Center 7, we have dozens of reporters all over the Miami Valley.
Breaking news in Tip City. This is a live
With one mission, to bring you breaking news when it happens.
News Center 7's Kayla McDermott is live along
Major stories that impact your family.
New Oregon District mass shooting information.
We're the home of Dayton's only all-news morning show, Miami Valley's Morning News.
This is Larry Hansgen.
Then, throughout the day, listen for updated local news every 15 minutes.
Dayton and Springfield's 24-hour news, weather, and traffic station.
When breaking news happens, we stop what we're doing and go wall to wall. For us, there's nothing more important than live, local news on the radio. It's a tradition since 1935.
WHIO.
This is 1290 and 95.7 WHIO, Dayton's News and Talk.
Free.
The power of WHIO radio and News Center 7 means you'll know first. This is Miami Valley's Morning News on WHIO.
Morning, I'm Larry Hansgen. Traffic red alert to 35 east and westbound are both shut down in Greene County at Route 68 due to a jackknife semi. At 40 degrees now at 5:39.
And that is 21 minutes here ahead of 6 o'clock. I'm Jeremy Ratliff. Well, by summer, the city of Dayton would like to have its violence interruption program in place.
It will focus on young people with guns. The city is working with Cure Violence Global on this. Now, Cure Violence put its findings on its website. It said it helped New York City see an 18% drop in shootings last year. The year before, homicide cases were down more than 30% in Baltimore. And in 2022, Cure Violence said it helped reduce murders in St. Louis by more than 40%.
That is News Center 7's Gabrielle Enright. The CEOs of PBS and NPR made their case to the House DOJ Committee yesterday as to why they should keep their roughly $500 million in federal funding. Fox's Aisha Hosni brings us a report on this from Capitol Hill.
The CEO of NPR eating her own words about past disparaging tweets she wrote about President Trump. The public radio chief testifying alongside the CEO of PBS in front of the House DOJ Committee as Republicans look to slash their federal funding. Catherine Marr, who skipped out on a hearing last year on allegations of bias, also admitted
we were mistaken in failing to cover the Hunter Biden laptop story more aggressively and sooner.
President Trump wants to defund NPR, calling it unfair, while Republicans say PBS airs inappropriate content for children.
Now, President Trump has long accused both networks of left-leaning bias, but congressional efforts to cut or eliminate their funding stall due to constituents' reliance on the public broadcasting network, especially in rural areas.
This is WHIO Continuing News.
Yes, it's opening day today, but there are also Sweet 16 games.
To start the fun, 6-seed BYU looks to upset 2-seed Alabama before 4-seed Maryland and 1-seed Florida square off in San Francisco. And then the premier matchup of the night as Cooper Flagg and 1-seed Duke look to advance to the Elite Eight when they take on Caleb Love and 4-seed Arizona.
Now is Fox's Joe Morgan, WHIO News Time, 541.
And this is Miami Valley's Morning News. I'm Larry Hansgen with a look ahead at our 5-day extended forecast with Storm Center 7 meteorologist Brittany Ritz.
60 degrees this afternoon, a stray shower after 5 o'clock, 46 overnight and into tomorrow morning, 73 tomorrow afternoon as we dry things out. That's right, the front half of your Friday, we'll have scattered showers, maybe a rumble of thunder. 70 on Saturday, there's a chance of a few showers late, maybe even a rumble of thunder. Nothing severe until we get into Sunday night and into Monday. Watching that closely. Strong to severe storms are possible. A little too far out to tell you all the fine details on the timing and the threats, but right now it looks to be more wind as we hit 71 on Sunday. We'll drop to 54 on Monday with the cold front passing through. Lingering showers on the front half of your Monday.
Live Doppler 7 radar clear. We've got 38 in Springfield, 35 in Troy, 40 at Dayton Severe Weather Station.
This is a WHIO Red Alert traffic update.
Now, here's an update on a problem we've had since overnight on 35. Here's our traffic expert, Jake Magnotta.
We've had an issue for about 4 hours in Greene County outside of Xenia on Route 35. It is closed in both directions near Route 68. It's due to a crash involving a jackknife semi. Dispatchers did say 2 people seriously hurt here. So eastbound traffic right now, you can exit at Route 68 or Route 42. Westbound, you can exit at North Bickett Road. You'll have to use the main roads to get around this morning. I'm Jake Magnotta.
Following former Flyers in the NBA, Obi Toppin had 10 points and the Pacers lost to the Lakers. And President Trump running into another court obstacle. That story in 3 minutes. WHIO News Time 5:43.
This traffic report is sponsored by Grismer Tire and Auto Service. Expert brake repair you can trust. Make sure you can stop when you need to the most. Get a little peace of mind by making an appointment today with your trusted brake repair experts at GrismerTire.com.
This is the Miami Valley's home for Fox News. WHIO. The WHIO call letter still means something in the Miami Valley. The original news legends, Lou M., Don Wayne, Jim Baldridge, Gil Whitney. We are standing on the giants of Dayton radio, and we take their legacy seriously. Nothing is as good as the best local news possible. Serving you in your hometown. It's important to us. WHIO was and is the #1 news station in the region. You're listening to the legendary WHIO. Depend on it. The WHIO Weekend Preview with what's happening around the Miami Valley. Here's Chris Hartley.
What's up, Miami Valley? Here's what's happening. Centerville Spring Expo is going to be going on next weekend over at the Sinclair Community College. It's going to be their Centerville location on Clio Road. If you're thinking about those springtime projects, lots of vendors going to be on site to help plan them out. The event begins on Saturday, April 5th from 9 a.m. until 1 p.m. Camelot's going on. That's over at the Loft Theater. Various days and showtimes for you. More information at humanracetheater.org. Show's going to run through April 13th. The Great Ohio Toy Show, that's going on over at the Greene County Fairgrounds. Lots of tables and dealers from across the country. Modern and vintage toys of all kinds. The event's going to be held on Saturday from 9 to 5. And movies topping the box office this weekend include Disney's Snow White, Black Bag, and Captain America Brave New World. Check out a movie this weekend. With your WHIO Weekend Preview, I'm Chris Hartley.
When you hear that a small Blizzard treat is just 85 cents in the DQ app, you might just feel like you're dreaming. 85-cent Blizzard treats. Trust us when we say you're not. But get to DQ quickly, because this dream is only a reality for so long. Hurry and get your small Blizzard treat for just 85 cents with a $1 purchase when you sign up for DQ Rewards. For a limited time at participating locations. Terms apply.
Legend has it, underneath the NJM insurance offices lies a mysterious room of long-forgotten, moldy mascot memorabilia. Often pitched by ad agencies, always rejected by NJM. Is it real? We may never know. But what is real is NJM's dedication to doing what's right for their customers. Astoundingly, they're proud to put policyholders first. No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. Learn more at njm.com.
Insurance underwritten by NJM Insurance Company and its subsidiaries.
Missions to Mars, driverless cars, AI chatbots. Feels like we're already living in the future. Robinhood is built for the future of trading. Robinhood's intuitive design makes trading seamless, so you can spot opportunities and take control of your trades. You can now even trade stocks and crypto all in one place. Sign up for a Robinhood account today. Investing is risky. Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC, is a registered broker-dealer. Trading during extended hours involves additional risks. Cryptocurrency services are offered through an account with Robinhood Crypto LLC, NMLS ID 1702840. Robinhood Crypto is licensed to engage in virtual currency business activity by the New York State Department of Financial Services.
Good morning, Dayton. You're waking up with the information you need to start the day. Miami Valley's morning news continues on WHIO.
It's 5:46. I'm Larry Hansgen, 40 degrees in Dayton. Here are the big three things you need to know. Going to be partly cloudy with highs near 60 this afternoon. Rain rolls in tonight. We got a traffic red alert in Greene County. 35 shut down both directions at Route 68 due to a jackknife semi. In our top story, the auto industry hit with a 25% tariff on imports.
And Larry, President Trump expects the revenue from 25% tariffs on all foreign auto imports to exceed $600 billion when all is said and done.
Anywhere from $600 billion to $1 trillion will be taken in over the relatively short-term period, meaning a year from now.
Now, claiming the revenue will still be high once the tariff goes into effect. WHIO's Will Taylor continues our team coverage.
The president in the Oval Office signing the executive order Wednesday, describing it as the beginning of Liberation Day in America and a sure way to get jobs back in the U.S. Car makers Ford, Stellantis, and General Motors won't be charged for 1 month under exemption while Hyundai has invested $21 billion in the U.S. to avoid the tax.
And the tariffs could be complicated as even U.S. automakers source their components from around the world. A federal judge is denying President Trump's efforts to ban transgender people from joining the military.
The Trump administration filed a motion earlier this week to dissolve the injunction blocking the Pentagon's ban. They argued their policy focuses on gender dysphoria, a medical condition, and does not discriminate against trans-identifying persons as a class. The U.S. District Judge didn't buy that argument, saying gender dysphoria is not like other medical conditions. It affects only one group of people. All persons with gender dysphoria are transgender. The ban was set to go into effect Friday. The judge wants more time for the case to go through the appeals process.
And here's Fox's Jill Nato reporting for us from Washington. Even more cases of the measles are popping up in states around the country, and that includes here in the Buckeye State.
10 cases now in Ohio. They count at least 23 in Kansas. All this after an outbreak in parts of Texas and New Mexico, where at least 370 people have gotten sick. The U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says this year, we've already exceeded last year's total number of measles cases. The Kansas Department of Health is recommending early vaccination for infants 6 to 11 months in the affected areas.
And here's Fox's John Saucier. And check your cupboard. Nearly 30,000 pounds of Chomps meat sticks are being recalled over fear it may contain metal.
The Department of Agriculture says the sticks were made between January 16th and the 23rd and were packaged in bags. They were sold at Costco in several states, including Ohio. We have more information at WHIO.com.
That is WHIO's Rich Jones. WHIO News Time, 5:49.
And this is Miami Valley's Morning News. I'm Larry Hansgen as we're looking at our 5-day extended forecast now, so you can make plans for the rest of the week and the weekend. Here's Storm Center 7 meteorologist Brittany Ritz.
Starting off in the 30s this morning, we'll hit 60 this afternoon, putting us above normal. Rain chances arrive after 5 o'clock, and even then, it's a stray chance. 46 overnight, 73 tomorrow afternoon as we gradually clear it out. So the front part of your Friday will be wet with the chance of scattered showers and a rumble of thunder. 70 on Saturday, showers arrive late, rain heavy at times overnight Saturday and into Sunday. Sunday will clear out for the front part of the day. We'll hit 71 with the chance of showers and thunderstorms late into the evening and into Monday morning. At that point, we'll have to watch for the threat of strong to severe storms. We'll drop to 54 degrees on Monday.
Live Doppler 7 radar's clear. We've got 38 in Springfield, 39 in West Carrollton, 40 at Dayton Severe Weather Station.
This is a WHIO Red Alert traffic update.
And here's our traffic expert, Jake Magnotta.
Not a whole lot has changed for hours on Route 35 in Greene County, just outside of Xenia. Route 35 at the moment still closed in both directions, close to Route 68. This is due to a crash involving a jackknife semi. So if you're eastbound on 35, you can use the exit at Route 42 or Route 68 to avoid the closure. Westbound 35, you can exit at North Bickett Road. Just take the main roads this morning. I'm Jake Magnotta.
And still to come on Miami Valley's Morning News, a first ever mission for SpaceX. That story in 2 minutes. WHIO News Time is 5:51.
This traffic report is sponsored by Grismer Tire and Auto Service. Refresh your ride with brand new tires at unbeatable prices. Plus, buy 4 new tires and get 4 free oil changes, an additional $300 value. Make an appointment today at GrismerTire.com.
WHIO's Brian Kilmeade here. I am coming to Dayton at the Victoria Theater Saturday, June 21st. Buy your tickets now at DaytonLive.org. Part of the WHIO 90th anniversary celebration. AM 1290 and 95.7 FM. Dayton's weather, traffic, and Fox News station.
Belmont Coin and Jewelry is looking to buy large estates and inheritances, any gold and silver coin collections, and gold and diamond jewelry and watches. Please see Belmont Coin and Jewelry today at 2749 Wilmington Pike in Kettering.
All the local news notifications you need.
For kids today, we have dozens of schools closing early due to the storm.
All the local emergency weather information you need.
Standing by for another update on this huge storm about ready to hit the Miami Valley.
All the local traffic red alerts you need.
I-75 is closed in both directions. You could be sitting here for over an hour.
Download the WHIO app, Dayton's #1 local news app. Download it today. Dayton's News and Talk is WHIO. This is a Consumer Warrior Clark Howard Minute.
If you are
approaching retirement, or you have a family member who is, I need you to warn them, because there are lots of people out there who might take advantage of you at the point that you retire from work. As an example, you may have over the years saved a fair amount of money in a 401k or something equivalent. And when you hit that point that you're looking at retirement, this is really important for you as an adult child to make sure you're warning your parents if they're approaching retirement, that there will be salespeople who come along and try to convince them that they have so much better things that they can put their money in than leaving it behind in the employer-provided 401k. But guess what? Most of the time, it's best to leave that money in that 401k than to move it out.
Clark is WHIO's consumer warrior, and you can hear him during Miami Valley's morning news on WHIO. Together with the resources of News Center 7, you're on Dayton's #1 news team. Now, back to Miami Valley's morning news on WHIO.
Good morning, I'm Larry Hanskin. One of Arnold Schwarzenegger's swords from his 1982 movie Conan the Barbarian was auctioned off yesterday for $176,000. We've got 40 degrees now at 5:54.
Those are big swords, if I remember correctly. 6 minutes here ahead of 6 o'clock. I'm Jeremy Ratliff. Well, SpaceX preparing to launch a 4-person mission on its first polar orbit mission.
It'll happen in a SpaceX Dragon capsule that could unlock a new area in space for future space flights. This will be the first to view the Earth's north and south poles from low Earth orbit. The crew is aiming to conduct 22 different research experiments during the flight. They'll also conduct several biomedical research studies in orbit, including taking the first X-ray in space using a mobile MRI device.
That is Fox's Chris DeMeo. And just a few hours west of us in Indiana, LeBron James steps up in the final moments of the game to push the Lakers over the Pacers.
Despite struggling from the field, James converted a game-winning putback as time expired, and the Lakers took down the Pacers 120-119. Through the first 3 quarters, James had just 3 points on 0 of 6 shooting. But he came on in the fourth quarter, finishing with 13 points and extending his NBA record streak of scoring 10 or more points to 1,283 games.
That is Fox's Joe Morgan reporting. WHIO News Time, 5:55.
And this is Miami Valley's Morning News. I'm Larry Hanskin. A new survey by the Daily Express reveals that people spend 37 hours a year deciding what to eat, with dinner being the most challenging decision for 57% of the people. And Jeremy, is that not the question that you dread on a daily basis? What's for dinner?
Yeah, with the kids more so. With my wife and I, we tend to know what we like and what's healthy and what to eat. But with the kids, it's always, whenever you include them in the discussion, it's a coin flip. It's a total coin flip. It's never just like, when kids are little, I feel like sometimes it's just like, well, chicken nuggets and mac and cheese kind of a thing. But now it's more of a coin flip.
Now, is it easier to get somebody to weigh in on a decision, or at least help with the decision, what to fix for dinner? To me, a harder question is, where do you want to go?
Yeah, but I think kind of along with that, the older I get, and my wife and I, we're kind of at that stage where we know what we like and we know where we want to go. So that makes it a little bit more easier. And we include the kids in the process, but it's a little bit easier when you've kind of narrowed down this is what I like, this is where I like to go, and this is menu items. that we like. What about you, Larry?
Well, I tend to, in addition to, I do most of the cooking at home, and so I will ask for input. I'll just say, what are you in the mood for, something like that. And if there's nothing specific, then I can just, go with my gut, if you'll pardon that pun.
Yeah.
But then, like going out to eat, I tend to be the travel guide on road trips, and so I end up always having to be the person that decides where we're going to have dinner if we're traveling to a different city. And I don't mind doing that. I feel pretty confident I've come up with some gems. So even though there's a little pressure, you got to come through. You can't disappoint people. But I don't mind doing that. All right.
Yeah.
Top story this morning. You're going to see some price increases probably initially, but what's the long game in the president's new tariffs? It's 5:58.
This is a Consumer Warrior Clark Howard Minute.
Okay, so you've heard me say over and over again over the years why I despise gift cards for so many different reasons. But right now it's even more relevant because so many retailers are gonna fail this year. So many restaurants repeatedly. Restaurant business is a tough business, and you have a gift card from a restaurant. What happens? You hesitate, you don't use it right away. Restaurant may not be there anymore. But the retailers are the big area that's going to have a lot of failures this year. A lot of people complaining that Joann's gift cards went up, poof, and smoke, worthless. So know that getting a gift card, you get one, use it right away before you're going to regret it. And if you're thinking of giving somebody a gift card, remember, you may be giving them fool's gold.
Clark is WHIO's Consumer Warrior, and you can hear him during Miami Valley's Morning News on WHIO. This is the legendary WHIO, Dayton's only 24-hour news station. Using the power of News Center 7, we have dozens of reporters all over the Miami Valley.
News Center 7's Caleb.
Breaking news when it happens. We're the home of Dayton's only all-news morning show, Miami Valley's Morning News.
This is Larry Hansgen.
Then, throughout the day, listen for updated local news every 15 minutes. When breaking news happens, we stop what we're doing and go wall to wall. This is 1290 and 95.7 WHIO, Dayton's News and Talk. WHIO, Dayton Springfield. Celebrating our 90th year as the Miami Valley's leading news station. Weather, traffic, and breaking news starts now.
Good morning. It's 6 o'clock. I'm Larry Hansgen, and welcome to Miami Valley's Morning News. We are live on Thursday, March 27th, 40 degrees in Dayton. Here are the big three things you need to know. Partly cloudy, highs near 60 this afternoon, and rain will roll in tonight. We have a traffic red alert, have had all morning since an overnight semi-jackknife on 35, both east and westbound, shut down at Route 68 in Greene County. And our top story.
We're going to have a market the likes of which nobody's ever seen before, not in this country.
President Trump slapping additional tariffs on vehicles imported to the U.S.
That's right, Larry. And Fox's Jared Halpert brings us a special report on this story from the White House.
Cars and trucks built overseas will face a 25% tariff in a move to bolster domestic auto manufacturing.
A lot of companies are going to be in great shape because they've already built their plant, but their plants are underutilized, so they'll be able to expand them inexpensively and quickly.
President Trump says the tariffs will raise as much as $100 billion a year in new revenue for the federal government. The tariffs take effect April 2nd, the same day the president is implementing wide-ranging reciprocal tariffs on imports from dozens of countries.
And WHIO's Rich Jones has more on how Wall Street is reacting to the news.
Shares in General Motors fell roughly 3% Wednesday. Ford stock was up slightly. Shares in Stellantis, the owner of Jeep and Chrysler, dropped nearly 4%.
Now, of course, you can stay tuned for updates on this developing story right here in the home of breaking news, 1290 and 95.7 WHIO.
The chance for rain and several rounds of it with the threat of severe weather. I'm Storm Center 7 meteorologist Rittley Ritz, timing out the rain chances, talking about the severe weather threats.
Route 35 still closed for us this morning in both directions near Route 68, just outside of Xenia in Greene County. It's due to an overnight crash involving a jackknife semi. I'm Jake Magnato with Dayton's most frequent traffic.
I'm Larry Hansgen, and this is Miami Valley's Morning News, sponsored by Joseph Airport Hyundai.
And I'm Jeremy Ratliff. Well, Judge James Boasberg will double up against the Trump administration. He will now preside over the lawsuit over the Signal chat leak alongside the migrant deportations case. Fox's Matt Finn explains.
The government watchdog group American Oversight filed this new suit. It alleges Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth and other officials in the chat violated the Federal Records Act by texting about the U.S. bombing attack on the Houthis on March 15th. The Trump administration insists Judge Boasberg was biased in his order to stop migrant deportations. Now some Republicans are demanding Boasberg resign from this new lawsuit case. The Trump administration appealed Judge Boasberg's order to stop deporting migrants under the Alien Enemies Act. An appeals court ruled in favor of Boasberg's order 2-1.
And Jeffrey Goldberg published the contents of the chat yesterday, backing up his claims that exact times, location, weather, and weapons were discussed by intelligence and defense officials. The Ohio Department of Health says there are now 10 confirmed cases of measles in northern Ohio.
This is happening in Ashtabula and Knox counties. Health leaders say all but one of the cases are linked and involve people who are not vaccinated. Doctors say the best way to prevent measles is to get the vaccine. They also say to keep your hands away from your face and wash your hands frequently.
That is News Center 7's Gabrielle Enright. Montgomery County is moving forward with its stray dog task force. The county estimates there are about 140,000 dogs in the county.
As of yesterday, the Animal Resource Center had 94 dogs in their care when they only have room for 82. The county said they will support and collaborate with the ARC, SIXA, the Humane Society, and the community to create the task force. It will focus on improving animal welfare and stray dog issues.
That is WHIO's Benjamin Fridkiss. At Clark County, a mother is sentenced to prison for the death of her 4-month-old son a day after the father was put behind bars.
Angel Seeker was sentenced to 11 and a half years in prison for allowing the child abuse that led to her son's death. The father, Landon Jennings, pleaded guilty to permitting child abuse, and he received over 10 years in prison as well.
That is WHIO's Ron Otto reporting. Prosecutors say the baby boy had several broken bones and a serious head injury. A former North Dakota lawmaker heading to prison after pleading guilty to traveling overseas to have sex with a minor.
81-year-old former North Dakota State Senator Ray Holmberg pleaded guilty last year in federal court to travel with intent to engage in illicit sexual activity. Now he's headed to prison for 10 years. Prosecutors said Holmberg traveled at least 14 times to Prague to pay for sex with adolescent-age boys. Holmberg admitted to paying young male masseurs, with some of whom he had sexual contact, but he claimed not to know for certain how old they were.
That is Fox's Jill Nato. And it's opening day, and there are some changes in Major League Baseball this year.
The Oakland A's are playing the first of 3 seasons in Sacramento before they move to Las Vegas. After 1 year with the Yankees, Juan Soto is now on the Mets.
Yeah, just a few there from Fox's Jared Max. The Reds and Guardians both open their seasons at 4:10 p.m. WHIO News Time, 6:05.
This is a WHIO Red Alert traffic update.
And a problem on 35. Details with our traffic expert, Jake McNaughton.
Big issue this morning for us taking Route 35 through Greene County outside of Xenia, as Route 35 remains closed near Route 68 east and westbound. This is due to a crash around 145, a semi jackknifed. So if you're eastbound on 35, you'll have to use the exits at Route 42 or Route 68. Westbound, you can exit at Bickett Road. The main roads are what you're going to have to take to get around this closure and back onto the highway. I'm Jake Magnotta.
Well, the summer concert season is taking shape. And still to come on Miami Valley's Morning News, the Fed's inching closer to a debt precipice. That story in 2 minutes. WHIO News Time is 6:06.
WHIO is Dayton's #1 weather station. You'll hear the severe weather updates several times an hour with our team led by meteorologist Austin Cheney. 1290 and 95.7 WHIO. Depend on it.
Belmont Coin and Jewelry is looking to buy large estates and inheritances, any gold and silver coin collections, and gold and diamond jewelry and watches. Please see Belmont Coin and Jewelry today at 2749 Wilmington Pike in Kettering.
Elevate your kitchen or bathroom with breathtaking countertops from Stone Center of Dayton. Explore our large indoor inventory of granite and quartz, and now featuring a large selection of quartzites. We're locally owned and operated and offer in-house design help. Visit us at stonecenterofdayton.com.
When you think of the most exciting team in Dayton, it's okay if you don't think of the doctors and therapists at Premier Health. We don't have jerseys or trading cards. We don't get primetime coverage. We don't sell out arenas, have good drip, or autograph sessions. We're just happy to be your team's favorite team.
All the local news notifications you need.
For kids today, we have dozens of schools closing early due to the storm.
All the local emergency weather information you need.
Standing by for another update on this huge storm about ready to hit the Miami Valley.
All the local traffic red alerts you need.
I-75 is closed in both directions. You could be sitting here for over an hour.
Download the WHIO app, Dayton's #1 local news app. Download it today. Dayton's News and Talk is WHIO.
Hear ye, hear ye! Finding a colonial house for a colonial reenactor like myself was hard. Choosing NJM for home insurance was easy. They tailored a policy to my specific needs. Fire away!
Get the coverage that's right for you at NJM.com.
Trading shouldn't have barriers. When Robinhood started, it was built to make trading more accessible. Now, Robinhood offers more sophisticated trading tools. Experience the future of trading on Robinhood Legend, the all-new desktop platform that harnesses intuitive design to deliver a seamless experience for traders. Free to use with a Robinhood account. The future of trading is fast, powerful, and precise. Experience it now on Robinhood Legend. Sign up today. Investing is risky. Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC, is a registered broker-dealer. Other fees may apply.
Breaking news all morning. The Storm Center 7 forecast to start your day and triple team traffic. Miami Valley's morning news continues on WHIO.
Good morning, I'm Larry Hanskin. Congratulations to Donald from Dayton. He's won a pair of tickets to see Air Supply at the Rose Music Center Sunday, August 3rd. We'll have more tickets to give away tomorrow, so keep listening. We have 40 degrees now at 6:09.
And that is 9 minutes after 6 o'clock. I'm Jeremy Ratliff. A big meeting in Europe after plans to build a peacekeeping force for Ukraine ran into U.S. and Russian opposition.
At least 30 countries plus NATO have leaders and delegates at this get-together in Paris, and their focus is shifting from sending troops to keep a theoretical peace in Ukraine to finding other ways to lend support. Last week, President Trump's envoy Steve Witkoff ridiculed the European troop proposals as a posture and a pose. France, the UK and Ukraine are reportedly working on presenting a peace treaty to the US. Ukraine insists any peace deal would need firm security guarantees from the West to prevent a repeat attack by Russia.
That is Fox's Jonathan Savage. Dollar Tree selling its Family Dollar stores to a group of private equity investors for around $1 billion.
The buyers are Bridge Capital and McKellum Capital Management Groups.
That is WHIO's Jason Michaels. Family Dollar stores are in urban areas, including Dayton, and sells groceries, cleaning products, and other products at a variety of prices. The LA Dodgers say they have accepted President Trump's invitation to the White House to celebrate the World Series title.
The team says they'll visit April 7th before opening a series at the Washington Nationals, and added that members of the team plan to visit Capitol Hill on April 8th. Manager Dave Roberts called it a huge honor that each World Series champion gets to experience.
That is WHIO's Rich Jones.
This is WHIO Continuing News.
Lady Gaga hitting the road.
Lady Gaga is taking her Mayhem Ball global, announcing tour dates across North America, Europe, and the UK. After wrapping previously announced spring shows in Mexico, Brazil, and Singapore, plus a highly anticipated headlining spot at Coachella in April.
That is Fox's Michelle Polino. We checked. The closest option for our area is the two shows at the United Center in Chicago. That's in September. WHIO News Time, 6:11.
And this is Miami Valley's Morning News. I'm Larry Hanskin with a look ahead at our 5-day forecast now. From Storm Center 7 meteorologist Brittany Ritz.
60 degrees this afternoon, a stray shower after 5 o'clock, 46 overnight and into tomorrow morning, 73 tomorrow afternoon as we dry things out. That's right, the front half of your Friday, we'll have scattered showers, maybe a rumble of thunder. 70 on Saturday, there's a chance of a few showers late, maybe even a rumble of thunder. Nothing severe until we get into Sunday night and into Monday. Watching that closely. Strong to severe storms are possible. A little too far out to tell you all the fine details on the timing and the threats, but right now it looks to be more wind as we hit 71 on Sunday. We'll drop to 54 on Monday with the cold front passing through. Lingering showers on the front half of your Monday.
Live Doppler 7 radar clear, 38 in Springfield, 36 in Xenia, and 40 at Dayton Severe Weather Station.
This is a WHIO Red Alert traffic update.
And with details on a problem on 35, here's our traffic expert, Jake Magnato.
Big issue this morning for us taking Route 35 through Greene County outside of Xenia, as Route 35 remains closed near Route 68 east and westbound. This is due to a crash around 145, a semi jackknifed. So if you're eastbound on 35, you'll have to use the exits at Route 42 or Route 68. Westbound, you can exit at Bickett Road. The main roads are what you're going to have to take to get around this closure and back onto the highway. I'm Jake Magnato.
Loyola Chicago and UC Irvine won NIT quarterfinal games last night to join North Texas and Chattanooga in next week's semis in Indianapolis. And still to come on Miami Valley's Morning News, picket lines outside Dayton International Airport. We've got that story coming up in 3 minutes. WHIO News Time is 6:13.
This traffic report is sponsored by Grismer Tire and Auto Service. Expert brake repair you can trust. Make sure you can stop when you need to the most. Get a little peace of mind by making an appointment today with your trusted brake repair experts at GrismerTire.com.
This is the Miami Valley's home for Fox News. WHIO.
At KeyBank, we know a small moment like,
whoa, my kid's got a serious backhand,
can lead to an even bigger question like,
tennis campus how much?
And that's the type of moment where we'll meet you to help you build a savings plan for expenses big and small so your money can make money. Mike, how's that sound?
Sounds like match point.
Sounds like love.
We could serve up tennis puns all day.
For every financial need, we'll meet you in the moment. KeyBank opens doors. KeyBank member FDIC.
For Good News in Dayton, this is Joe Eckley with Day Air Credit Union. Kettering Cities of Service is making a big impact by turning compassion into action. Kettering Cities of Service focuses on uniting volunteers and community resources to tackle key challenges and improve quality of life for everyone in the city. This program connects residents with opportunities to make a difference, whether it's through helping neighbors in need, supporting local organizations, or even participating in environmental projects like tree planting and park cleanups. By empowering residents to take an active role in their community, Kettering Cities of Service reminds us that together we can build a better, stronger community. And to all the volunteers and supporters of Kettering Cities of Service, thank you. Your Good News for Dayton.
Good News in Dayton is sponsored by Grunder Landscaping, Day Air Credit Union, and Wagner Paving. For more information, visit goodnewsindayton.com.
Restore more with Ram Restoration, your trusted full-service solution for your home or business. Got water damage, fire damage, mold issues? Don't worry. We've got you covered with our 24/7 emergency response. Count on us to restore your property to tip-top shape. Visit RamRestorationUSA.com. Need a new roof or siding? Looking to add an addition? We also offer remodeling, roofing, construction, and plumbing services. Ram Restoration. Everything under one roof. Visit us today at RamRestorationUSA.com.
This is the legendary WHIO, Dayton's only 24-hour news station. Using the power of News Center 7, we have dozens of reporters all over the Miami Valley.
News Center 7's Kayla.
Breaking news when it happens. We're the home of Dayton's only all-news morning show, Miami Valley's Morning News.
This is Larry Hansgen.
Then, throughout the day, listen for updated local news every 15 minutes. When breaking news happens, we stop what we're doing and go wall to wall. This is 1290 and 95.7 WHIO, Dayton's News and Talk.
I'm Parker Testa with the University of Dayton Sports Update. Following their season-ending loss to Chattanooga in the second round of the National Invitation Tournament, 3 Dayton men's basketball players have entered their names into the transfer portal.
Malachi, right corner, 3, good!
Junior Malachi Smith, who averaged 10.4 points in 33 games played in 2024.
Finds Isaac for the flush!
Junior Isaac Jack, who in 21 games averaged 3.2 points. Freshman Marval Allen, who spent his 2 seasons at the University of Dayton nursing injuries.
Nate for 3. Got it!
Meanwhile, senior forward Nate Santos was named Academic All-District by College Sport Communicators. This is Santos' second consecutive season earning the honor and making it 2 straight with the Flyers. He led the Flyers, scoring 14.3 points per game in 2024, while also posting a 3.7 GPA. I'm Parker Testa with the University of Dayton Sports Update here on 1290 and 95.7 WHIO.
The area's only all news and talk radio station. That means we're talking about what you're talking about. Miami Valley's morning news continues on WHIO.
616, I'm Larry Hansgen, 40 degrees in Dayton. Here are the big three things you need to know. Going to be partly cloudy today, highs near 60 this afternoon. Rain rolls in tonight around 5 o'clock, continues overnight. We have a traffic red alert, 35 in Greene County, shut down both directions at Route 68 due to an overturned semi. And our top story, President Trump levying a 25% tariff on imported cars and light trucks.
That's right, Larry. President Trump signing an executive order imposing 25% tariffs on all foreign auto imports, exempting any car makers that produces in the U.S. In the Oval Office, he was asked how the administration plans to make sure that a car is fully built before being imported.
We're going to have very strong policing, and it's pretty easy to do. If parts are made in America and a car isn't, those parts are not going to be taxed or tariffed.
The car makers Ford, Stellantis, and General Motors won't be charged for 1 month under exemption, while Hyundai has invested $21 billion in the U.S. to avoid the tax.
President Trump says revenue from the tariffs could be anywhere between $600 billion and $1 trillion over 1 year. Tariffs could be complicated as even U.S. automakers source their components from around the world.
That is WH.